Hello and welcome to Games Jobs Live at Pocket Gamer Connect Digital 6. If this is your first Games Jobs Live event, I'm Colin McDonald. I've been in the games industry about 3 decades now for my sins. I've worked on countless games from Grand Theft Auto to Crackdown to the Hollyoaks game, if we've got people in the UK that are massive Hollyoaks fans. So the fact that I've worked in the industry for so long means that we've got various companies here today that are in the UK that I know really well. I've had the pleasure of knowing them for years, which is fantastic. And others we've got today that are farther flung, but whose games have literally been played by hundreds of millions of people. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from each of them today. So we have Wargaming's MS1 studio, we have Square Enix Montreal, Into Games, Sports Interactive, Speech Graphics, and Rivet Games. The whole point of the Games Jobs Live event is to make it easy for fantastic studios like these to connect with brilliant people looking for a new job in the games industry. Some folk that come along to these are already in the industry looking for a new job. Some are looking to get into the industry for the first time, whether as a graduate or coming from other industries. It doesn't matter. These are studios looking for great people. That's what it boils down to. So what you've got to do is watch each studio's presentation, put any questions to me that you want me to put them to live in the live stream, but then you can follow up on the Discord and you can chat to the companies for the next couple of hours. Each company only has a few minutes to present live. So they've got to keep things brief, but it should give you a good flavour of them. And then it's up to you to follow up with them. So for that, you want to be in the Discord. So what I will do is I will scroll the link along the bottom of the screen. So this is the Pocket Gamer Discord. This is not the regular Games Jobs Live Discord. So what you want to do is in a browser, to save you punching in the complicated Discord URL, in a browser, punch in pocketgamer.gamesjobs.live. That's pocketgamer.gamesjobs.live. That will then redirect you to the Pocket Gamer Discord. Once you're there, you've got to go to I think it's called the role select channel or something like that at the top, and choose the job seeker role. If you don't do that, you won't be able to see the Careers Week section. In the Careers Week section, you'll find channels for each of the companies that are presenting today. You'll also find a general Games Jobs Live channel. So in that Games Jobs Live channel, post any questions that you want me to put to the companies live on the stream. If you want to chat to the companies direct yourself, go into their channel. The companies all have someone staffing the Discord from now until 6 o'clock UK time. That's in about 2 hours time. So you can start asking questions just now, or you can wait until they've been on the stream and see what they've had to say, and then you can follow up directly with them there. For everyone watching this live, you'll get the most out of it, obviously, because the companies are in the Discord. But if you miss bits and want to rewatch it, this will stay up on YouTube. And at the end of the day, the companies are still wanting to hear from you, whether you've watched this live or not. I think I'm obligated to say that if you're enjoying this, then please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. We've got more events coming up. Speaking of which, next Wednesday we have an event focused on the south coast of England. So we have studios like Creative Assembly, Studio Gobo, Mag Interactive, TT Games, and various others still to be confirmed. So do get onto our website, that's gamesjobs.live, where you can find the registration for that and all our future events. You'll also find an interactive jobs map that's got all the jobs in the UK that you'll hear about today listed on an interactive map you can explore and filter by whatever your discipline is. I'd just like to say thanks to all the companies that are presenting today. Wargaming's MS1, Square Enix Montreal, Games, Sports Interactive, Speech Graphics, and Rivet Games. I'd like to thank everyone that's helped promote this event. So Elspeth has been helping Games Jobs Live on the social side, as well as Games Jobs Finland. And then, of course, to everyone at Pocket Gamer, Poppy, Sally, Lisa, Chris, everyone else, they've been fantastic. The whole of the rest of the Pocket Gamer Digital Connect 6 conference is going on the rest of this week, so do check it out. I know some of it you got to pay to get to, but I think other aspects are free. There's a link on the Eventbrite page for this event where you can apply to get access to bits of it if you can't afford a full ticket, I believe. So do check out the rest of the conference. As I say, we've got a range of companies presenting today. So unless I've missed out something obvious, we're a little bit ahead of time, but I think our first company is ready. So I think we should just crack on. You know, you're here to hear from these fantastic companies rather than listen to me warble on. So I'm really excited about this because this is a huge company that their games are ridiculously famous, but I actually know very little about the company. So MS1 Studio is Wargaming's premier mobile development studio. They're responsible for World of Tanks Blitz. It's a multi-site studio with offices in Belarus, Russia, and Lithuania, currently with a staff of over 325 across development, publishing, and operations, and they're looking for more. So it gives me great pleasure to bring on their general manager, Thane Lyman.
Hey, Colin, thank you.
Hello, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. This is, it'd be better if we could do this actually live, but virtual will do is second best, I guess.
We will get back to that. I'm sure. Everyone keeps telling me that. Great. I'll hand over to you, and then we'll pop on afterwards. If people have questions for you as you're talking, do post them in the Discord. Don't post them in the YouTube because I can't track everything. Get on the Discord. The URL scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Post your questions in the Discord on the Games Jobs Live channel, and we'll put them to Thane afterwards. Meantime, over to you, sir.
Excellent. All right. Well, so I guess we can jump in with the slides actually right away. So, as Colin said, MS1, we are part of Wargaming, but we very much stand out as our own studio. We have our own very unique, specific cultural and style and approach and everything. And I think, look at, I'm part of it, so I'm biased, right? But I think actually that what MS1 has going on, I think we actually offer something very unique in terms of the style of developer that we are, in terms of the kinds of things that we're working on, and in terms of the way that we're structured and kind of the way that that we're built and how we do our business, that I think are all really interesting and cool, and that certainly are exciting for me, and that I think make us fairly unique among all of the potential developers that you could end up working at. So to start, as you see here, right, we, MS1, we build AAA action shooter games on mobile platforms. That's what we've been doing for years, and that's what we're really good at, and that's what we are going to continue to do, both with existing and new product. I'll talk about that more in a second. So quickly, who am I? I'm Thane Lyman. I'm the GM of the studio. I've had over 20 years of experience in game development. I've worked for 17 years at Activision on a bunch of stuff. Lots of things you've probably heard of, some things you didn't. Call of Duty, Destiny, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines, the original one. And then, other licensed titles like Marvel and DreamWorks games and Transformers and all that. And then for the last 6 years, I've been at Wargaming, and I've worked on World of Tanks PC. And then for the last 3 years, I've worked on World of Tanks Blitz as part of MS1, and then World of Warships Blitz actually recently as well. But more importantly, let's talk about the whole studio. So the entire studio, as Colin said, we are Wargaming's, we're the original mobile development studio for Wargaming. We built World of Tanks Blitz, and we are still in operation on that, doing very well. But more than that, we are a team that that passionately believes in, as committed to the fact that at this point, given where we are in the industry, given the technology, given the design, given the gamers' kind of habits and likes and all that, right, and what people have grown up playing with now and what they're familiar with, we believe that at this point, actually, that these kind of action games can be just as fun, exciting, engaging, thrilling, cool on mobile devices now as they ever could be on PC and on consoles in the past. And we're at the forefront of bringing those games to life and of pushing this forward as a genre and on the platform. So that's what we do. Now, we do that not just because we believe it's a huge business opportunity, and we do believe it's a huge business opportunity, but we do this because we love these games. Like we are a group of people who believe in making these games because we like playing them as much as anything else, right? We believe it's a huge category. You've seen in the last couple of years, you've seen the growth already of what these kinds of games are on mobile, right? When Blitz first shipped 7 years ago, there was basically nothing like this, right? Mobile games are, you push a button, collect a thing, come back later, 10 minutes later, push another button, collect another thing. Heavy meta, not heavy on gameplay, stuff that I sort of call alarm clock simulators, right? The games now, right? Blitz was one of the first that was an actual action game on mobile, and now you're seeing more and more of them coming. And again, we really believe the category is going to pop. But so we love the business opportunity, but we also love these kinds of games, and we want to make the kinds of games that we love playing as players available on mobile, right? And so that's part of the reason we're doing this. So it's a good business opportunity, and it's also a thing that we actually love and believe in as a studio. And then I think another thing that makes us unique and interesting is that MS1 is actually not just a game developer. We are a fully integrated development and publishing unit. And so what that means is, right, anybody who works on World of Tanks Blitz, for example, right, anybody who works on any of our MS1 products, wherever they are around the world, whatever department, whatever, they're all part of one team. So we don't have the usual, you guys, if you've worked at other studios, you've been in that situation where like, somebody in marketing thousands of miles away says they don't like your game or they have a problem with something. And suddenly you go into this, crazy rehab, right? And have to change everything you're doing and whatever. That's not how we operate. We're all integrated. We're all together. We're all bonused the same way. We're all incentivized the same way, right? Everything that we do is integrated. And so we avoid all of these problems, these typical problems that you guys, if you've worked at other places, you've probably experienced and been very frustrated by, right? So I think that's also something that's really unique and separates us from just about anywhere else you could work. Now, in terms of where we are and how we are and what we are, the studio, we are actually on our way at about 360 people with a recent ad that I'll talk about in a minute. We are 360 plus people actually who are spread across multiple different locations. We have 5 primary locations around the globe. And I'll talk about what those are in a second. But we're also a group of people that are very culturally diverse. We have people from lots of different backgrounds. We have, people from North America, Americans, and Canadians and all that, right? We have Europeans, we have, people from the UK, we have people from the EU, we have native Russian speakers from whether it's Belarus or Russia or Ukraine or other countries, right? We have people from Asia. We're very, very diverse group, culturally speaking. And that, I think that's great for us also because, first of all, we're better equipped if we understand, if we have people from all these different cultures, the way people consume games is different around the world. And so if we have people who are from these different cultures, we're able to then serve those different cultures more effectively. And then second of all, frankly, it's just more interesting when you're working with people who have a different point of view. You don't learn anything new if everybody thinks like you, if everybody acts like you and operates like you always at the same time, right? I'm constantly learning and being exposed to new and different ideas and ways of doing things and approaches and all that. And I think it makes us all better actually as a studio and as people. So it's a great place for that too. In terms of what we do now, we have 2 games that are live and then 2 new games in development. And we've had over 160 million installs of our games so far. So what is that portfolio? First, World of Tanks Blitz, obviously our crown jewel. It's been 7 years running. It continues to be very, very successful. We've had over 140 million installs across the various platforms. We're on mobile with it. We're also on Steam, actually. So we have a PC version through Steam. And then actually last year, we just came out on Nintendo Switch as well. So we're actually mobile, PC, and console on World of Tanks Blitz. Of course, last year, we did have a very good year. Everybody in the industry, right, had a good year financially speaking, because of the fact that everybody had to spend a lot more time inside and they were playing games and didn't have a chance to do the same kind of things as usual, right? But we grew over. You see the figure, right? 58% year over year revenue, but it's not just. We didn't just get the COVID bump, right? Like this is in the 3 years we've had huge growth, and we're actually over double our revenue inside of that 3-year period. So Blitz is very much revitalized, and we are going to continue to support that and innovate on it and put resources behind it and build stuff that is better and better from features and tools and process and everything else, right? To be able to make it more and more exciting. And it's a fun and vibrant project to work on. Even though it's 7 years old, it's actually still feels very new and is a very great thing to work on. Beyond that, now we've also got, as a recent addition into the studio, we've taken on responsibility for the World of Warships Blitz game, which is also a mobile game, which again is the mobile version of the World of Warships franchise. That is a game that had been being developed out of Shanghai and Berlin, and we've added those teams into MS1, and now they're part of it. And that game is a fun and exciting game, and it's another cool action shooter game on mobile, and we feel pretty good about where that can go as well. So that's our 2 games that are live and are running. And then we also have 2 new games unannounced right now that are in the works that are, again, action shooter games and that include new IP, and they're being built on Unreal. So if you're a developer who's worked with Unreal before, if you've spent any time playing around with it, you can come in and be productive, right away, right? With very little sort of learning time, you can come in and just start working on these new products with us. So what does that mean, right? What do we need? Well, we need people who can believe in this mission, right? We're successful, we're growing. We need talent who wants to come in and help us build this next generation of mobile action games. Now, where are we? As you can see here, as I said, we're in multiple locations. So in addition to what had been our primary studio in Minsk, we've also added recently, over the last couple of years, teams in Moscow, in Berlin, in Shanghai. And now we've opened up actually recently, very recently, just this last month, an office in Vilnius as well. And then others around the world, as you see, we have other people who are working in, small groups and satellites and things like that. But we're truly a unified team. This isn't, groups that don't talk to each other and don't communicate and just work on separate projects or whatever. We're a real distributed development studio working all around the world this way. Now, Vilnius itself is, we intend that to be a place where we're going to grow to about 100 people. And it's going to be the hub, especially for our new original, our new products, right? The new games. And again, it's a place where we're getting people from all around the world, people from all different cultures and walks of life who are already joining us in Vilnius. And so it's already turning into this kind of multicultural melting pot where we have lots of different views and all that, and where you can learn and do cool, exciting things, work on innovative titles with a group of people who are going to be, who are going to make you think and work and learn, different from what you're used to. And I think that really adds a lot. So why Vilnius? Well, look, part of the advantage of Vilnius is it is the European Union, but it's a lot more affordable, especially as a capital city in Europe. It's a lot more affordable cost of living wise than most of the places you'd find in Europe. The quality of life there is very good. You can read on the slide. People are very happy there. Facilities are good, fast, public Wi-Fi, all these kinds of things. The ability to get around the city is good. So it's a real up and comer of a city. It's a fun, vibrant place that has this cool, growing art culture and all that. And it's just a fun place to be. And so you get all the advantages of being in Europe, but with a lot of cost benefits, right? And a much lower cost of living to go along with it. Now, what are the roles we're looking for? You can see here, art director, lead UX UI designer, game balance, C++ game devs for Unreal, program manager, project managers, product managers, senior QA engineer, more UI UX designers. But to be honest, look, if you're a person who believes in this idea that action games on mobile are ready to pop and you want to be a part of building these kinds of games, great games on mobile like this, then I don't care whether your job title is currently on this list or not, contact us, because we're looking for people across all disciplines who can help us make something better and better and do something great. So if you want to be part of the adventure, just come on and let us know. You can look up on wargaming.com careers to see that. And then also, just while we're at it, I'll put this up for a second. If you guys want to use the QR code, you should be able, hopefully through the screen, to be able to go on directly onto our site and see things from there. And that is what I have.
Great stuff. Thank you so much. You have so much going on.
We got a lot, Colin. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind. I tried to time this to 10 minutes, but I made 14.
So. There's a lot to talk about, and I have to say, I mean, it's been years since I've been, but I once was fortunate enough to do a sort of month or two tour of the Baltics, and Vilnius is such an amazing city. I would be desperate to go back. It's beautiful there.
Yeah, it's really incredible. The first time I came there, I didn't know really what to expect. And I was really struck by the fact that there's this really interesting kind of almost a bohemian, art vibe to it, that, the Jim Morrison Memorial and everything else. And lots of these cool bars and restaurants and coffee houses and places. It's a really cool, interesting city that is definitely, you see how it is changing from what it used to be, 10 years ago even, and growing, and it's just a great place to be right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would love to come and visit one day. So fingers crossed that becomes an option before too long.
Good.
We've had a few questions coming in, and one slightly, I don't know if it's pedantic question of my own. Why MS1?
Yeah, so it's actually a sort of a play on words. It's a double name. So it both stands for MS1 Mobile Studio 1, because we're Wargaming's first mobile studio, and then also the MS1 is actually the designation of the original Russian tank. It's actually even it's the first tank you can unlock in the Russian line in World of Tanks as well. And that's why, if you look at our logo, right, it's the tank, that's the actual MS1 tank, but you've got the hand, right? So we're kind of driving it around. And yeah, there. And, the idea is we're embracing the fact that, yes, these are cool military action games, but we're still playing, right? We're still having fun and playing and engaging our inner child, right? To do the things that we did when we were, young kids.
Okay. I've been wondering that for weeks. Okay, that's great. A couple of questions that have come in. Josh, I think it's Josh Dutton Audio, is asking about you've obviously worked on all sorts of properties across all sorts of platforms. What's the challenges of doing stuff on mobile? And by that, I would include Switch as opposed to traditional PC.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you come right down to it, again, there's not been a lot of games that have been able to crack this formula yet, right? we've got a number of games, action games, that are coming onto the platform in the last few years. Look, PUBG has been there and successful. Fortnite has been there and successful, right? Call of Duty's been there and successful. So it's just coming in. But man, there's so much to, managing anything from a small download size, because you want to make sure that it's something people can, don't have to take an hour to get onto their phone or else they'll leave. So, good choices about what's in that initial asset pack and what you can download over time, technology behind that to, for smart downloads and things like that, to, just the overall footprint, right? The assets themselves and being clever about, what degree of fidelity we use and all that, to managing across a wide variety of different devices and standards, almost like the PC in some ways, right? In that you've got, especially in the Android side, you've got so many different configurations of mobile phones that compatibility is something you're constantly checking, right? That's really important. But honestly, getting these games to feel amazing on glass, right? That your thumbs feel good and that you feel like you're controlling it like you would with a console controller, right? Or a mouse and keyboard. That is the most important thing. And I think the good thing is, we've had an extra half a decade beyond what most people have had in learning how to do that. And so I think we've got a real advantage, right, to being able to do that. And that's why I'm really excited, especially about the new projects. Like, man, I wish I could show everybody the builds right now. Like, they're a lot of fun. We are having a great time. And these things are in production and, on their way to a full release. And we can't wait to be able to show them to people.
Look, I'll tell you what. Look, I don't mind. I mean, feel free just to fire them up. And no, it's okay. It's okay.
I'll tell you what. Look, as soon as we can, I will be very excited to do it.
Awesome, great. A couple other quick questions. Obviously, we've all got questions around COVID, working remotely, and everything. Various people asking about remote roles. Megan Gibson, I think, was the first to ask about that. But then also, Angelo's asking about, even if the role's not remote, what's your hiring process while we're going through all this pandemic stuff at the moment?
Sure. So look, in terms of remote or not, obviously, right now, I mean, here I am in my apartment, right? Everybody's been working via video screens for quite a while. We have offices that obviously, exist, and that depending on the country, there's limited capacity. In some places you can work, in some places you can't. Whether it's reduced capacity or none or whatever. And, we've learned the efforts that we made early on to learning how to really be a multi-site studio ended up benefiting us quite a bit when COVID hit. So we do have, even as far away as you saw, as Singapore and Tokyo and so on, we have people who are actually part of the studio. In the ideal world, we certainly want to try to get people. We strongly prefer to have people working from inside of the studios, once we're past all the COVID stuff, right? To be working actually in the office wherever possible. But we do expect that we may end up with these kind of modified schedules, maybe it's 3 days on, 2 days from home or whatever, kind of setups. It's going to evolve. It's going to evolve out of necessity of COVID. It's going to evolve out of, frankly, what we see works best for the teams. And then on the hiring process, I think we're doing it like everybody else, right? We just get really, really good at trying to read facial cues and body language over video conference as much as possible. We do have some people. We've hired, God, it's got to be 50 plus people over the last several months. And, many of them have literally never physically met before. And again, I think it's a testament to the strength that we've developed of this multi-site approach, that we've been able to integrate people like that with really very little difficulty. And that, people have been able to be very productive and they understand what they're working on and they get the goal, right? They get the mission, and they're able to work well.
Absolutely, it's going to be one heck of a party when we do all get to all those people that have never met before get to finally meet up for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Great stuff. Then I can't believe where the time's gone. We need to move on. But that's been
Okay.
fantastic having you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do this. A lot of great opportunities there. You've got, I think it's Valeria sitting in the Discord answering questions. So if you're not already on the Discord, the link is scrolling along the bottom of the screen. So you need to punch this into a browser and it will redirect you just to make it easier. So punch in pocketgamer.gamesjobs.live. Put that into a browser, it will direct you to the Pocket Gamer Discord. Once you're there, you've got to go into the Choose a Role channel, assign yourself a job seeker, and that'll let you see the Careers Week section where you'll find the Wargaming MS1 channel where you can ask Valeria and anyone else that's in there all the questions that I've not been able to ask Thane on the live stream. So do follow up. If you've got a phone, you can obviously just use that QR code on the screen and jump straight to the website and get applying to go and work in Vilnius or Singapore or Moscow or whatever else it was. Great.
Thanks a lot, Colin. I really appreciate the time.
Not at all. Thanks. Great to have you. Cheers, Thane. Bye for now. Okay. Wow. Fantastic opportunities there. Still to come, we have the likes of Into Games, Sports Interactive, Speech Graphics, and Rivet Games. But meantime, another company I'm really, really excited about. We jump over to Canada to meet Square Enix Montreal. It's obviously part of the world famous Square Enix group, and responsible for much head scratching on my part for their brilliant Hitman Go and Lara Croft Go games on mobile. And I noticed they've also recently announced they're doing an AR adaptation of Space Invaders, which has got me really excited as well. So to hear more about all of that, perhaps not Space Invaders, please let me welcome from Square Enix Montreal, Agathe. Hello.
Hi. Hi, everyone. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for joining us. I will just hand over to you, Agathe.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Colin. So yeah, hi everyone. My name is Agathe, and I'm a recruiter at Square Enix Montreal. So I'll start with a few words about our studio. So first of all, Square Enix Montreal was created in 2011 by a team of 10 passionate people. And in the past 4 years, the number of employees has grown by 300%. And we're now 171, with more than 40 new hires this past year. You may know us as the makers of the acclaimed Go series and Hitman Sniper, which have received numerous awards. And they've been downloaded more than 130 million times in over 175 countries. But enough with the numbers. So let's talk a bit about our values, which are the following. So first of all, partnership, innovation, collaboration, player-centric, and inclusion. So at Square Enix Montreal, we really value our employees' well-being, and we put a huge emphasis on the balance between professional and personal life. And this has been all the more important this past year because of the pandemic, of course. So we've been working remotely from our homes for a year now, and it has been, of course, super challenging for everyone. So I'll give you an overview of what we've implemented to support all of our employees. So everyone has now the option to have flexible work hours, which means that you can create your own schedule based on your needs. We've also introduced the concept of magical Mondays. So since January, we have a Monday off every other week, and this will last until the lockdown ends. It's been super appreciated, and it's very nice to have a long weekend every 2 weeks, especially now that the weather is getting better, even though I have to admit it's snowing today. So we've also increased our insurance coverage for mental health support. There's also been support groups, really encourage everyone to take care of their mental health, of course. We also have lunch and learn conferences on topics ranging from systemic racism to personal finance. And we've managed to keep our tradition of our weekly show and tells. So every Fridays at 4 p.m., we share studio and project updates with the entire company. So before the pandemic, of course, we were doing it physically at the office. It was beer time at 4 p.m. every Fridays, but now we do it remotely via Zoom. And of course, we have virtual parties and regular gift home deliveries. But now let's talk about our upcoming projects. So like Colleen said, we've announced 2 projects in production. So first of all, the first one is Project Hitman Sniper Assassins, which is a working title. This new mobile game will feature a wholly original Hitman story with new playable assassins and brand new gameplay features. It's coming soon in 2021. The second announced project is a collaboration with Taito on a new vision for the Space Invaders brand with a mobile game that includes innovative augmented reality features. So very exciting projects, and we're still looking for passionate and talented people to join our teams, and we currently have more than 20 open positions right now at the studio. You can visit our website for all job openings. I sent the link in the Discord. I also included my LinkedIn profile if you want to connect. Of course, don't hesitate to get in touch with me if you have any questions and want to learn more about the studio. So we have a great variety of open positions at the moment, from art director to lead tools programmer, so don't hesitate to take a look. All of our job openings are, of course, in Montreal, which is, by the way, the 5th largest video game hub in the world, with over 15,000 industry professionals. So that's it for me. I kept it short and sweet. So it's now time for the Q&A. If I'm correct, Colin, I'll take your questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So you've beaten me. I was too busy looking through the Discord.
I'm sorry.
To pick out questions. There's various questions about internships and junior positions. I mean, what's your mix of roles that you've got at the moment, and how many sort of entry-level positions do you regularly have?
So for internships, we have 3 different sessions per year, and the intern program is super important for us. Oftentimes, interns come back to do other internships at our place, and it happens very often that they're converted into permanent positions as well. So it's super important for us to share our knowledge and to train people. And given the current state of the job market in Montreal, there's so much competition, so many studios that we really want to invest in interns and juniors. So right now it's the start of our summer session for interns, and they're gonna join us from May to August, if I'm correct.
Okay, great. And then, I mean, Montreal's got a reputation as being quite a cosmopolitan, international place. I mean, presumably you're considering people from all sorts of places. I mean, how does that work in terms of interviewing, and then also, work visas or permits in Canada?
So we're really used to doing work permits. Like I said, like the current market, it's super competitive. So for super, difficult positions to find, we do look internationally, of course. So we have a dedicated HR partner in charge of immigration. We have a team of lawyers working for us. So we take care of the work permit of the employee, but also for the family to join, their partner, kids, and we offer a relocation package as well. So the amount depends on where you come from in the world, but yeah, we've done numerous work permits, and we've kept doing it even during pandemic, even though the process is a bit longer. And of course, we don't ask people to relocate currently, during the current state right now. So as long as the pandemic is not over, we're anyway all working from home remotely. So we'll wait for it to get better to ask people to join us, of course.
Yeah. And then I was just curious, what's the sort of typical makeup of one of your teams? Presumably, you've got multiple teams working on different projects at the same time. Do people move a lot between the teams? Do you share resources, or is it all quite defined per project?
I'd say it's a mix of both. Like if you're assigned to a project, you work on that project, but there's a lot of communication between teams as well. We have, central services that are shared for every teams. And of course, for example, I know that our technical artists have a Slack channel where they share knowledge, or like they designers meet, every month to share what they're doing. So we're pretty small, we're 171, so it's still easy to share information. And our weekly show and tells also, give everyone a global view of what other teams are doing. So there's a lot of information shared.
Okay, and then I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway because we should all always ask the stupid questions. The language of the studio, do I need to speak French?
So being bilingual, I'd say, is an asset, but it's not mandatory. Everyone is, if there's someone that doesn't speak French in a meeting, we immediately switch to English. And we also provide French lessons to all of our employees that don't speak English, and they're free and during work hours. So you don't have to dedicate your personal time to them. So yeah. And Montreal is very bilingual as well, so like you don't need to speak French to be able to get around,
And there was someone asking about the social side, just asking, is Montreal fun to live? I mean, I've been fortunate enough to visit, and I can say yes. I was there at the Grand Prix time, so I got to go out to the island and
oh, nice,
and had there was amazing parties afterwards. That was a long time ago. I take it it's still a fun city.
So this past year it's been a less fun, but I think it's the case for all the cities in the world. But yeah, Montreal is a great city to live in. I really, really love it. I've been there for 3 years now. And I think it's kind of best of both worlds because it's a big city, but it's still very, like, you can get from one side to the other really, really, really fast. And there's lots of parks. Very green, and also you're super close to national parks, mountains. So during winter you can go skiing super easily. During summer you can hike, go to many lakes, and also since the winter can be pretty long sometimes, you have a feeling that people really want to enjoy summer and spring. So as soon as the weather gets better, everyone is outside. We had a lot of music festivals, and summer is pretty busy when there's no pandemic, of course.
Great. Hopefully we can all come and visit. General question: any general tips for people when sending in their portfolios or resumes, or also any things not to do? Any red flags you've seen that you would discourage people from doing?
Red flags, not a lot of them, but sometimes people, they apply to different positions, and sometimes they, mistake the job title or company. So be careful, like read your cover letter, double check, triple check. But other than that, I'd say for junior roles, especially, sometimes it's hard to put something on your resume. So what I would encourage you, like all the junior to do, is put all of your personal projects on it. From programmers to artists, we want to know about your side projects, what you worked on in school, or just for fun. So show whatever you can, and it's we really enjoy people who are super passionate and who have something to show, because sometimes you don't have any work experience, but projects are taken into account for sure.
Good advice. Great. And then just one final question from a chap called Colin McDonald. He's asking, is that a Square Enix jumper, and how does he get one?
Yes, it is. Like I said, we receive a lot of gifts, especially during pandemic, and this is one of them. It's pretty cool, right?
Very cool. Very
Thanks.
cool. Yeah, there's reason number one to go and get a job in Square Enix.
That's it. You receive it on your first day, actually, and we also have, like a beanie. We have water bottles, you name it, and face masks as well, of course.
Of course. Hopefully soon to become an unused souvenir. But
I really hope so.
great, Agathe. Thank you very much for joining us. You're in the Discord to follow up with any questions. Great. So if anyone's not already on there, I'll keep saying this just to make sure we get everyone. The link is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. This is a browser link, not a Discord link, but if you punch into a browser, pocketgamer.gamesjobs.live, that will redirect you to the Pocket Gamer Discord. Once you're in there, you've got to assign yourself a job seeker's role. Then you'll find the Careers Week section, and you'll find the Games Jobs Live channel, and you'll also find the Square Enix Montreal channel. And for the next hour and a quarter, Agathe will be in there answering all your other questions. Sorry, I've not been able to get through everything, but jump on there, ask any other questions you want, and get applying. And if anyone ends up with a spare jumper, let me know and I'll send you my address.
Thank you, Colin.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, right. We are jumping back to the UK now. So a company that Games Jobs Live has had quite a lot to do with because they do so much good and help people get into the industry. So this is Into Games, who are a non-profit organization supporting people get into the games industry. So let me welcome in Sarah from Into Games.
Hello, hi, how are you?
Hi there, I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for joining us. I'll just hand over to you.
Yeah, perfect then. Yeah, if you can just share the screen with me, perfect. So yes, Into Games, we are in the business of helping people to get in the industry, that being their first job, or maybe providing with resources, maybe keep on the job hunt. I know it's quite difficult, done it myself quite a few times, so I understand it. And today I am bringing such a cool kind of scheme to talk about, which is the Kickstart scheme. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar or not, but I'll explain it anyway. So the Kickstart scheme is a government program kind of focusing on the young people from 16 to 24 years old that are currently out of education and on universal credit. The scheme was created because of the effects of the pandemic. So just really good timing for us to use this scheme, especially on our industry that is quite interactive, to our advantage, really, especially with remote jobs. But let me explain you a little bit about it. So in order to participate on this scheme, as I mentioned, as a candidate, you would need to be between 16 and 24 years old, out of education or soon to be out of education, and on universal credit or soon to be on universal credit. And the government will be paying 25 hours on national minimum wage for 6 months, basically. So any studio in the UK can apply. And the cool thing about Into Games is that we're working as a gateway company. So instead of you, studio, having to do the whole process, talk with the Department of Work and Pension, and organize all the admin, we're basically doing that for you. And we are also providing mentorship and employability support to all the candidates that actually get a position in your studio or whatever it is. And as a candidate, it's actually quite easy to apply. We have all our roles on Work with Indies, and you can have a look here. We have a couple positions, really, really diverse. We have QA testers, graphic designers, everything from HR assistants to junior artists, junior programmers. It's really nice to be able to show the diversity in our industry. It's not all about, programming and art and production. We have so many other roles that are important around it, especially around operations. And I think that's one of the amazing things this scheme is bringing, kind of educating a lot of people on the diversity of careers you can still have inside the gaming industry. So yes, in order to apply, if you're interested, have a look on Work with Indies or Hit Marker. We are working with both of them and all the roles are updated there. We have a couple of studios like Electronic Arts, and then we have small studios that you can see like 6 to Start. Is very, very good to have like a diversity in terms of projects, especially for young people entering the industry. I like to say young people, but I'm 24 myself. And I really, really think one of the most important things this scheme is actually bringing to the industry, and we really need to take advantage. And when I say take advantage, I mean, applying, sharing, showing to everyone, is that, we can actually leverage all these entry-level talent and all those junior people that want to get in the industry. And we need to kind of show studios and everyone that, the roles are really important. We need to stop start getting entry-level jobs as something serious, not an afterthought. And the amazing thing about the scheme is all studios can start thinking about their own initiatives and how to build their own entry-level roles. But first, they can test it through the Kickstart scheme and the government. So for studios, quite easy to apply. You can go to the Intergames website. We have a post there. We also been posting on LinkedIn and Twitter. Quite easy. It's just a form. You fill the form. We will ask you a couple of questions regarding how many people you need, the size of your company, and then we're going to relay this information to the Department of Work and Pension so they can approve your company. And once they do that, we will send a couple of documents for you to fill with your job description and just the method in which you like the candidates to apply. Send them back to me. I'll send to the Department of Work and Pension, and your position is live. Once the position goes live, we start marketing it in order to get not the best candidates, but a good diverse pool of candidates from everywhere in the UK. So as you can see on Work with Indies, some of the roles are remote, some of the work roles are for specific locations after the pandemic or whenever that happens in the next 6 months. But in order to apply for roles that aren't remote or won't be remote for the full year, you need to be between 50 to 100 miles from the studio location. This is because the Department of Work and Pension and the job center work coaches, they work quite locally. So in order to apply for those, you would have to be around this area. But we have a really long list of remote jobs that anyone from the UK can apply, as long as you are between 16 and 24, out of education or soon to be, and on universal credit. Process for candidates is really simple as well. You will fill a little form, basically just asking where you found the role, your name, what kind of which job center you have been registered to, a little bit about your experience. And once we have that information, I will again send it over to the Department of Work and Pension. They will refer you to the studios and have a first screening call with you. If they think it's a good match, they will be referring to the studios where you will be applying directly to them. Essentially, you will be in that normal recruitment process as soon as you are referred from the job center. So it's also really good to get experience in doing job interviews and just talking with studios where normally it will be way harder to do so for entry-level positions. But yes, so this is a little bit about it. I am on Twitter most of my time, so feel free to ask me. Sara SC Machado _UK. But also Intergame social media, we are everywhere and we are shouting about this scheme everywhere. I'm very passionate about it, and I think it's just such an incredible opportunity for the industry to actually build on the talent, the untapped talent everywhere. We have so many gamers that would die to have a job in the industry. And now we have this scheme that is allowing studios to do so without having to cover the salaries. So candidates, please do apply. This is a great opportunity. I wish I had something like this in the past, but I also do not think the government will take this forward for the next year because it has been a result of the pandemic. So yes, take advantage to this as much as you can. And if you can't apply because you're out of the age or not being on universal credit, I know it's a shame, but this is such a great opportunity for you to share with everyone, and hopefully we'll get to convince a few studios that having entry-level roles for all disciplines is just a really good way on saving later on in recruitment. Instead of always bringing talent from somewhere else, you can foster your own talent and just have people that are really loyal to your studio, your brand. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Perfect. Yeah, I think it's a brilliant scheme. Just there's been various questions, but I can probably answer them myself, I think. But just to clarify that I've got it right. So this is a UK government scheme. So this isn't something that's open to people that aren't resident in the UK.
No, unfortunately, no. You need to be a resident of the UK, and you need to be registered with the job center, which is going to be around your local area. So yeah, it's quite focused on the UK market.
Okay, and people need to be between 16 to 24 and on universal credit.
Yes, exactly. To be on universal credit, it doesn't take that long. So if you want exactly now, you can kind of get it done, and then come back to us. The scheme will be running into December of this year, meaning the last position can start, the last candidate can start the role up into the last day of December. and it will run until next year. So you do have lots of opportunities. We will be having 28 new roles in the following weeks, and hopefully 100 to 300 this year. Quite a lot of roles for everyone. So I really, really, really recommend everyone to at least having a look on the positions and just sharing with your friends.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Great. Okay, you've answered the other questions I was going to ask you, so that's perfect. You've read my mind. Sarah, thank you very much for joining us. I hope everyone gets onto your website. That's at the bottom of the screen. Hopefully we see lots of new people coming into the industry through the Kickstart scheme soon. That would be great. Great. Sarah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, that was Sarah from Into Games with their Kickstart scheme, so do check that out. Still to come, we have several companies, including Sports Interactive, Speech Graphics, and Rivet Games. You can chat to them all on the Discord. Just one more time, to get to the Discord, go to pocketgamer.gamesjobs.live, assign yourself a role of job seeker, and you'll see the various channels under Careers Week. Jump on and you can follow up directly with all of the companies that we've had so far. So with Wargaming MS1, with Square Enix Montreal, as well as the companies that we've still got coming. They're all going to be on there for about the next hour. So jump on and get your questions in. After that, you're obviously encouraged to apply directly, but this is your chance to speak to them live and direct, as it were. So now on to our next company. We're jumping a little bit closer to home to me. So we're going up to Edinburgh in Scotland to meet Speech Graphics, who have an amazing technology that procedurally generates facial animation from voice. So please let me bring in Holly from Speech Graphics. Holly.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Good, happy to be here.
I'll just leave everyone in your capable hands.
Oh, amazing, thank you. I think that we might have a video which I'll keep to the end just because I'm a bit conscious of time and it's a little bit long, so we might have to cut it short. But yes, I'm from Speech Graphics. I'm the HR manager there, which means I also deal with a lot of the hiring. The first person you normally speak to when you apply is me. So it's nice to be here if any of you are thinking about applying. We were founded by Michael and Gregor, who, I mean, not to age them, but our SGX technology is based on 20 years of research and development in speech technology, machine learning, and procedural facial dynamics. So as Colin said when he introduced us, the idea is to create sort of natural, expressive, full face animations from audio automatically. So some of the stuff that you might have seen that Speech Graphics has been involved in is Marvel's Avengers, The Last of Us 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and in May, the new Resident Evil game, The Village. So that's quite exciting. We are also one of the partners with Epic on the MetaHuman project, so everyone internally is really excited about that. I'm sure everyone has seen it actually, but if you haven't, I would go check it out. It's really cool to see such a human-looking animation, so that's really exciting. In terms of working with us, we were based in Edinburgh. There was an office there, but we've recently gotten rid of that just due to the situation over the last year. We currently hire remotely across the UK, in Hungary and in San Francisco, of all places. That's basically where we have our bases and we're already set up to hire there, but we are looking at hiring outside of those areas, but certainly remote UK, Hungary and San Francisco. We operate something called the Choice First working model, which means that when we do have an office, people who want to use an office are welcome to go use it and you can have a desk and stuff there. But we'll also set up your home office and we have budgets and stuff to make it a bit nicer. A couple of people have bought coffee machines, plants, that sort of thing. We're happy to do that. We also have a learning development scheme. So everyone's allocated a budget for the year as well as some time that you can use to advance your skills and development. You can use it for various different things, qualifications, subscriptions, that kind of thing. It's kind of up to you, but that's part of our benefits package. Private healthcare, access to a mental health support and wellbeing platform, which obviously some of the other guys have mentioned, and I think it's really cool that a lot of companies are doing that now. It's really important, so that's something that we try to champion as well. We have about 34 staff, so not quite as big as everyone else, but we are going through a period of pretty rapid growth at the minute. As I said, I started in February, and since then, I think I've onboarded about 6 people. So for a company that's less than 40, that's actually quite a lot. So yeah, consistently growing. We hire roles across sort of data engineering, linguistics, machine learning, Unreal, WebGL, cloud engineering, 3D artists. It's very, very diverse, which is great. It's very interesting when you speak to different people. They're all really excited to tell you about what they've got going on. At the minute, we have a couple of entry-level roles. Probably one of the best ones is either in customer experience or account associate. These roles really integrate you with our customers and clients and the technology, so you can learn a lot really fast, and there's multiple opportunities for going into various parts of the business. We also have a couple of 3D design artist roles and WebGL. I think Unreal we have unfortunately just hired, so we don't have any of those positions at the moment, but when they come up, they do tend to be sort of entry level or junior. So we are consistently adding roles all the time. I'm free for questions, or if Colin has our video there, which I think he was looking at earlier, we can show a bit of that if everyone's interested.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was completely distracted checking something. I thought we had technical problems. Apologies. You mentioned two junior roles. It was account management and was it user designer?
So it was 3D character artist.
Sorry. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. We'll come back for some questions. So jump on to the Discord with any questions for Holly. But let's play a little bit of that video just now.
Everything all right?
No, it's all terrible, as usual. These pillagers come to town, hire us to dig up our own relics, don't even pay us a living wage.
And then they run off with them and profit.
No digging in at the shore. Gotta advance. You need to stay low and do not bunch up. Stick to your training, you're gonna make it through.
I finished.
No, Finn. What did you mean?
Do you want to put it together?
Can't you remember them at all?
No.
They loved you very much.
I hope so.
These scum know better than tarks like you, and I will show everyone here how low that is. The pain of my tweet shall echo within you. I'll cut you open along with any Uruk that gets between us.
Hey, check out these notes. You know, I'd write one for you if you got lost.
Why am I the one who's gonna get lost?
Okay, you can write one for me then. Damn.
Whatever.
Okay, we'll leave that there, but there's a ton of other games that the tech's been used in as well, and one I don't know if I missed it, but a little game called Fortnite.
Yes, Fortnite. I probably should have led with that, but I have a lot of friends that are really enjoying The Last of Us too, and they mention it all the time that I see them. So I've had a few of my friends who are artists send pictures too for the 3D artist guys to look at, which has been really fun.
Absolutely. Actually, one of the questions that's come through from Varun is asking what software do you look for the 3D artist role? Is it Blender, Maya, Max?
To be honest, we're quite open, but Maya is probably the one that's the most common that we get and is already used internally. But depending on the level, we do sometimes take kind of more graduate and junior positions. So it kind of depends on what Jason and the team are looking for. They're quite a big team now. Well, I say big, there's 3 of them, which sounds very small, but as I said, 4 people, it means that's quite a decent team now.
And then obviously, I mean, Speech Graphics isn't a games company, but it develops the technology that's used in a whole bunch of games. I mean, how's the team structured so that it's able to support and service all these different games? Because in some of the AAA games, the Shadow of Mordor or the Fortnite, that's years of development. People would be working on that one game, whereas with Speech Graphics, obviously they could be working on a number of different games throughout the year?
Yeah, the structure of the company is actually very, very interesting. So as I sort of have mentioned, we have a lot of different departments that deal with different things. So the sort of data engineering, machine learning, and linguistics guys are really, really focused on the sort of games industry, our gaming clients. But we also have what's called shared services engineering, and that's a lot of our engineering roles that will jump from a lot of different things and have different priorities, depending on what we've got going on at Speech Graphics. So depending on who you speak to, some person might be working on something for quite a long time, whereas some of the other teams, we have someone called Demetrius, and I know that his week, basically every week he works in something different. So I think if you are looking for somewhere where you can get involved in a lot of things, that's what makes Speech Graphics quite interesting, is we do have a lot of projects that maybe are only a couple of months and other ones that will last a bit longer. So a lot of different things.
Absolutely. Okay, we need to move on, Holly, but thank you very much for joining us. You're in the Discord.
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So if you're not already on there, jump on, follow up with Holly about any of those Speech Graphics roles, and get to work on not just some amazing games, but a whole bunch of amazing games. The Discord, if you're not already on, is at pocketgamer.gamesjobs.live. Get on there. You will find a Speech Graphics channel that Holly will be staffing for almost the next hour. So this is your one chance. Get on. But obviously after today, you can still just apply directly. If you've registered for the event, you'll get an email with the links to the jobs pages of all the companies that have been on today. So do just follow up with any of the companies and the positions that you think you're a good fit for. Holly, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Okay. Wow. Okay. We'll move swiftly on. The next company, particularly if you're a football fan, but even if you're not, this company needs little introduction. Based in London, they've been around for 27 years, I believe, and probably best known for their eternally popular Football Manager games. Please let me welcome Laura from Sports Interactive. Laura.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good, but I want to hear from you. So I will drop out and leave everyone in your capable hands.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're all enjoying this bit of good weather that we've got today. So obviously here to tell you a little bit about Sports Interactive. And some of you will probably know that we are the people that make the highly successful Football Manager game. For anybody who's played it, you'll know it's all about the strategy, and you can find yourself logging on a Friday evening and still there on a Sunday afternoon. It is really one of those addictive games. So a bit of history on the studio. We were founded by Paul and Oliver Collier, who created Championship Manager, as it used to be known. In 2003, we split from our former publisher, Eidos, and we signed a deal with Sega. And then in 2006, we were acquired by Sega. And I think when they took over, there were about 40 people in the company then. And we've now grown to around 200. So Miles Jacobson, who is the studio director, joined in '94, and he's still there looking after the studio, been there ever since. So we're based in London, in the Olympic Park. We are actually moving studios relatively soon, only from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor. But we need a larger space, so we're moving into offices, open plan for the whole team. Got great communal areas where you can sit and have a drink and a coffee and play pool, and all of that sort of stuff. Last year was a massive growth year for us. We onboarded about 40 people last year. And this year we're looking to take on probably about another 20 or 30 to add to the team across various roles. So generally as a studio, the culture is very important to us here at Sports Interactive. Many of our staff say it's like a sort of home from home job. So we're very sort of family orientated, flexible work hours. It's a very open culture. Everybody's encouraged to put forward their ideas, strive for improvements, but everybody's really humble as well. So we find that there's very much a sort of consensus-driven theme throughout the teams with little conflict, which is great. At the moment, we're recruiting for about 20 different roles. We're always recruiting. We're always looking for C++ programmers, engineers. That's something that we always need. We're also always looking for producers. So obviously Football Manager is available on mobile, Steam, Nintendo Switch, Google Stadia as well. But we've also delved recently back into the console market, which is something that we haven't done for a while. So we're looking also for a console producer at the moment. So there's lots of exciting things on the horizons, and we've got lots of big plans. We've also just launched our Football Manager sort of membership club, where you can join and you get all the updates on new features and things like that. And we have different promotions, member rewards, campaigns, all of that sort of stuff. So we also offer now in this day and age flexible working, so a mix of remote working and on-site work as well, really whatever works best for you. So so the main focus for us at the moment is C++ programmers, producers, QA as well, and environment artists and designers as well. And one thing you can definitely say about Sports Interactive is that we have some really good job security. Obviously, you know, our game is a massive hit and has been for a long time. So yeah, get in contact. You can contact me on LinkedIn, Laura Hetherington, or laura.hetherington@sigames.com, or obviously on the Discord. I'd love to have a chat with you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Laura. I think I've asked this question when we've had Miles from SI Games on before, but it's an obvious question. Do I need to be a football fan to come and work there?
Well, I mean, it really depends on the role, to be honest. I mean, it does help, let's be honest, because you know, you're obviously we want people to be passionate about the project that they're working on, and that is one of the sort of strengths about the studio, is that everybody is really proud of the game that they're making, and most people do have a general interest in football, but we can be flexible. It's not 100% necessary, as long as you've got a passion for the job that you're doing.
Fair enough. And a general question, Shahid is asking just general tips on anything that you do look for in resumes or portfolios, or any red flags, anything like that?
Not really. Not really any red flags. I mean, we have a really good mix at our studio of sort of really experienced people who've been there for a long time. So I think we've got about 30% of people who've been there over 10 years, but we do also have about 30% of people who've been there sort of under a couple of years. So we are sort of willing to take a mix of experience, and we are quite open with regards to the background that you've come from as well. So you don't necessarily have to have come from a games background, as long as the skills are transferable.
Fair enough. Perfect. Okay, we're running out of time, I'm afraid, Laura. We need to move on. I see questions about opinions on the European Super League.
I thought they might come. Yeah.
Again, everything's gone, pear-shaped for whatever reason. But I don't think this is the forum to get into that. So
it would be interesting, yeah, especially for us if there's some massive changes.
I bet, yes. So you're on the Discord.
Yes.
So anyone that wants to follow up with you, get on the Pocket Gamer Discord. The link is still scrolling along the bottom of the screen. Get on there, assign yourself a job seeker role, and you'll find the Sports Interactive channel, where Laura has already been answering questions and will continue to do so for the next 45 minutes. So follow up, and then just apply for any jobs that you think you're a good fit for. There'll be links in the email that come out at the end of the event, or as Laura says, just look her up on LinkedIn, apply direct from their website. They're one of the studios that's been around the longest in the UK, longer than a lot of people have been around themselves, I guess, in 27 years. So stability certainly isn't a question, and looks like a fantastic studio to work for. So get applying. Laura, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
Great. Cheers. Bye for now. Okay, hopefully everyone is jumping onto the Discord and chatting to Laura there from Sports Interactive, but also all of our other companies. We've still got everyone from Wargaming's MS1 studio, from Square Enix Montreal, from Speech Graphics. Jump on. You've still got 45 minutes to ask them all questions and follow up. However, we're lucky to have one more company. I think there's an Apple event today as well, so I get to do the one more thing as well. This company takes us back up to Scotland. They may seem a little niche in the fact that they do routes for the train simulator games, but it's a niche with millions of avid followers. Their CEO, Tim Gatland, will be joining us live on the stream for questions afterwards. So get your question in. But they've put together a little video. So let's play out the video, and then afterwards we'll get Tim on and put some questions to him.
Hello, I'm Tim Gatland, Rivet's Chief Executive, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about the company. Rivet make add-ons for Train Simulator. These are models of specific trains and the routes that they run on. We're about 20 people. We're normally based in Stirling, but as you appreciate, we're scattered to the wind at the moment. And once the pandemic's calmed down a little, we will go back to Stirling, but probably with a good element of home working as well. Our history is that we're a spin-out of a company called Dovetail Games. You may have heard of them. They make the leading train simulation products, Train Sim World and Train Simulator 2020. In the 18 months or so that we've been trading, we've made 10 add-ons, and they've mostly been Swiss content, and that's made up of locos and routes. We've just done our first German train, and we're currently working on some other locations. What we're looking for at the moment is an additional software engineer to join the team. Key things we need there is an appreciation of vehicles, so knowing physics or operations or how things work is key. Doesn't matter if it's not trains, cars, planes, anything like that, but it's understanding and getting under the skin of vehicles. Everything we do going forward is in Unreal 4, so good knowledge of a game engine like Unreal 4, preferably Unreal 4, is really important. Rather than me talk for too long, I'd like to introduce a couple of the software engineers at Rivet, and they'll tell you a little bit about what they get up to here. Over to Kevin and Tara.
Hi, I'm Tara and I work in Unreal Engine to simulate the controls and physics of different locomotives in TSW. I came to Rivet just out of high school as a modern apprentice and finished my first project, the DB-BR204, back in 2019, which was huge for me because I've been wanting to be a game developer since I was about 14. The best part of my job, I would say, is probably setting up the controls because they're really unique to each locomotive and they're really satisfying to recreate, especially if they're a part of a bigger and more complex system like PCB. If any of this sounds interesting, or you're just a bit more of a detail-oriented person, you should probably get in touch.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm a programmer at Rivet Games. I joined in 2019 after studying computer games applications development at Alberta University. Since then, I've been a part of various projects in both Train Sim 1 and in Train Sim Worlds. The part of the job that I like the most is finding unique features to implement that shows the fans how much detail we go into in creating our products. This can be anything from an indicator that brings the train to life a bit more, or a destination display system that allows the fans to create more unique gameplay. Another aspect of the job that I like is working with artists to implement these different features. If this sort of thing interests you, I'd be happy to chat in the Discord channel, or you can email us later and we'll get in touch.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Tara. Hopefully that's given you some idea of what working for Rivet is like. And although we're really at the moment looking for a software engineer, if you have other skills that you think might be of interest to us, keep an eye on our website, rivetgames.com. There's a vacancies section there, and we always advertise vacancies. So to sum up a couple of key things, we are all about modelling the real world. If fantasy is your thing, we may not be quite the right company for you. We have a regular set of releases. They're not huge releases, so we don't do the big crunch that you may have heard about other companies doing. What we're about is needing talented people, but who are dependable, predictable, good at consistently delivering. And I guess finally, we're about trains, and if you don't like trains, we may not be quite the right people for you either. Really appreciate your attention. If you're interested, please get in touch. There's a Discord channel running right now, but also you can email us at careers@rivetgames.com. That's it from me. Back to Colin. Thanks for organising this.
Colin, are you there?
Let me see if I can just take it away. Well, that's never happened.
No.
The joy of doing live events. Something.
Yeah,
always...
how you doing?
Very good, very good. Most of this has gone to plan, which always makes me feel a little bit better. Let me just bring up the links and logos for Rivet Games. So do jump on to the Discord. We've got a couple of minutes live with Tim just now for any questions. But Kevin, that you saw in the video, is already on the Discord and has already been answering people's questions. Tim, just while we see questions coming through, the obvious one, kind of in the same way that I was asking Laura at SI Games, do people need to be train fans to like trains to work in Rivet Games?
Try to cover this in that you've got to like things like trains. You've got to like machines. You've got to like systems. You know, if you're I'm a plane fan as well. I fly little planes when I get the chance. It's having that attention to detail. A signaling system is just like an air traffic control system. It stops things hitting each other. It's just like a traffic light system. It stops cars hitting each other. You have to like that, and you have to love detail. Our fans and our players love every button, knob, dial to be as close to reality as we possibly can. So no, you don't have to be a train fan, but you do have to have that little thing that says, yeah, I get what makes somebody love a car. And, you know, my normal question is, you know, what's your favorite car? And most people get down to a model, a year, and a sub-model. That's how much they care. And our train fans are just the same. So it's not good enough to say it's nearly right. It's got to be right.
So me saying my favorite car is a red one is probably not good enough.
And I know that's not true.
Very true, very true. In terms of technical skills, we've got a question. Someone asking, in terms of the programming, is it C++? Is it
yeah, so absolutely. So we build on top of Dovetail Games game engine, and that is built in UE4. So everything is C++ that we do. To some extent, if you come with another game engine, it's okay, but you're going to have to learn pretty quickly. One of our recent artists, we mostly model in either 3D Max or in Blender. One of our artists came with Maya. It's fine. She was great. She's a great artist, but she had to migrate. And so, yeah, be ready to learn UE4.
And then the perennial question at the moment that no one's got a completely concrete answer for, but in terms of working remotely, hiring remotely, how's all that working at Rivet at the moment?
Well, yeah, I used to have 5,500 square feet of office, room for 50 odd people. There are 24 of us at the moment. We downsized the office, I think very much following what Speech Graphics have done, because we just want to see how things change. I do expect us to get together from time to time, but I think we're very flexible, certainly for the next while in where people are based. But we would want people to be able to get to Stirling without too much trouble. And it's obviously very close to the airports of Edinburgh and Glasgow. You could be based a bit further away, but we'll expect to see you up here reasonably regularly when we can get together. But if you know when that is, you're a better man than me.
Yeah, let's not take any bets on that. Great. Okay, that's been great having you on, Tim. Thank you very much.
Great. We're on Discord. Kevin's on Discord. Yeah, we're taking questions.
Perfect. So you've got half an hour of Kevin on the Discord, particularly from the technical side of things, but just anything in general about Rivet Games, jump onto the Discord and ask Kevin. Tim, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for putting this on, Colin. Cheers.
No worries. Cheers. Okay, that is all the companies we've got time for. However, the companies are still on the Discord for the next half an hour, so you can chat to them uninterrupted by the live stream going on. So get onto the Discord for the next half an hour. They're all there answering everyone's questions. So get on and chat to all the companies we've had, to Wargaming MS1, to Square Enix, to Speech Graphics, to Sports Interactive, and to Rivet Games. And of course, don't forget to check out the Into Games Kickstart scheme. All fantastic opportunities. So really, I'd just like to say thanks to everyone for joining, of course, first and foremost. If you do want to rewatch any of this, go back and screen grab or tell anyone else that's missed it, the YouTube link will stay the same. So feel free to share that. If you've liked it, literally, then please do like the video and subscribe. We've always got more events. The next one is actually next Wednesday. So that's Wednesday, the 28th of April. If you go to the Games Jobs Live website, which is www.gamesjobs.live, you will be able to find links to the sign up for the event next week, which is focused on jobs in the south coast of England. So we've got companies like TT Games, Creative Assembly, Studio Gobo, Mag Interactive. So a bunch of amazing studios next week as well. So feel free to tune in to that and find out what's going on. Of course, for the rest of this week, Pocket Gamer Digital Connect 6 continues to go on. So I hope everyone's making the most of that, checking out all the other activity on the Discord and all the sessions. And I would just like to say thanks to everyone that's helped make today happen, in particular to Poppy, Sally, Chris and Lisa at Pocket Gamer for letting this happen and arranging amazing companies, particularly the more exotic, far-flung ones like Wargaming MS1 and Square Enix Montreal come on to the live stream. I think that's been really insightful getting them on. And it just leaves me to say, get on the Discord, follow up with the companies, and get applying for jobs. I hope to see people in new jobs if that's what you're looking for. If it's your first job in the industry, I hope to see you in the industry soon. And that aside, we may see you at a future event. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.